Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Grand Ayatollah Sheikh Lutfullah Safi Gulpaigani, a marja' and a grand scholar who passed away recently. And although he was rather obscure in the West, not many people knew of him prior to his passing. And even then, for most people, he was known as simply the oldest living marja'. But he was much more than that. And although volumes of books would be required to chronicle the life of such a giant, I thought that I would share a couple of stories to highlight and showcase the life of this scholar and his tireless devotion to God. The first story involves him playing a critical role during the lifetime of his teacher. In the time of Grand Ayatollah Boroujerdi, who was someone that needs no introduction, he was considered the last truly supreme marja' of the Shia world. This is at least 60 or 70 years ago. It is said that Ayatollah Boroujerdi one day went back to his hometown, to Boroujerdi. When he got to Boroujerdi, he received reports that the Baha'i movement had began to infiltrate the local community. And they were bent on trying to convert and proselytize as many people as possible within the Shia, who were the inhabitants of the city of Boroujerdi. And because they had created such a stronghold for themselves, Ayatollah Boroujerdi became extremely upset with the situation. And so the story is told by Grand Ayatollah Shubayri Zanjani, who says that at the time Ayatollah Boroujerdi became very, very upset with how things were handled and how the Baha'is were able to create such a network for themselves and proselytize and convert. And so in order to express his dissatisfaction, Ayatollah Boroujerdi left the city of Boroujerdi. Obviously, for the locals, the people there, they were immediately concerned about the fact that their own marja' would leave town in protest to what he felt was like the shortcomings of the local community. And so they went to Ayatollah Boroujerdi and they apologized and they said to him, "Tell us what we need to do and we'll do it." So Ayatollah Boroujerdi agreed to go back to Boroujerdi with the condition that things would change. One of the things that he instituted, one of the changes, was that he asked his student Ayatollah Safi Gulpaigani to go to Boroujerdi and to deliver a series of lectures about the Imam of the time, about Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu al-Sharif. And it just so happened to coincide with the holy month of Ramadan. So Ayatollah Boroujerdi instructed his student to deliver those lectures and to boost the spiritual immune system, if you like, to illuminate the hearts and minds of the Shia, to educate them about the Imam of the time, to give them the logical proof, to provide the scriptural evidence, to give them the hadith references from the words of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt, so that believing in the 12th Imam would not be subject to doubt or misconception. And this, by the way, on a quick side note, is what our scholars were masters of. They identified the danger and they addressed the danger by providing the evidence, the knowledge, the proof that's needed to dispel any misconceptions that were at the time being spread by the Baha'i elements. So Ayatollah Lutfullah Safi Gulpaigani went to the city of Burujerd at the behest of his teacher, Sayyid Burujerdi. And he delivered a series of 30 lectures. Those 30 lectures were then converted into a book. That book is an indispensable resource for anyone looking to learn about the Imam of the time, looking to be exposed to the evidence, to the proof, and to the knowledge base that's required in order for us to be adherents and followers of the Imam of the time. The book's title, after it was published, was منتخب الأثر في أحوال الإمام الثاني عشر. This book has been translated into multiple languages, including the English language. Originally, the book was about 700-800 pages, and it was written in Arabic. Then it was translated into Persian, it was translated into English, into Urdu, into other languages, and now it's available as a 2 or 3 volume publication. So, highly, highly recommended. Pick up the book, whether you read English or Arabic or Persian or Urdu, pick it up and learn from it. This was an incredible service that Ayatollah Safi Gulpaigani delivered to the community of the Shia, and that continues to inspire many people to this very day. May Allah bless him. The second story I want to share with you has to do with our respected and beloved sisters in Islam. One day, a group of sisters went to meet Ayatollah Safi Gulpaigani, and as is customary among many people when they visit their marja', when they visit these grand scholars, they'd like to receive blessing. And the way these sisters try to express their respect and admiration to the marja' and receive blessing from him is that one of the sisters said, "Is it okay if we take your aba'ah, your cloak, so that we may kiss it?" Obviously, being of the opposite gender, they wouldn't be able to kiss his hand or his forehead, but they wanted to kiss his aba'ah. Ayatollah Gulpaigani said to the sisters, he said to them, "That's okay, but you know, it is your chador, it is your aba'ah, your cloak and your veil that is more worthy of respect. Because whether I wear this or not doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't affect my faith, it doesn't affect other people's faith. But your aba'ah, every step you take in it, while wearing your veil, while wearing your hijab, is a step that you take towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are rewarded for every moment that you observe the hijab in its entirety. And so it is your aba'ah that should be respected. It is your aba'ah and your hijab that should be honored and venerated, and not mine." The sister who reports the story, she said that we were incredibly inspired by the words of this grand scholar. May Allah bless him. I believe that it was his tireless devotion to the faith, and in particular to the Imam of the time, that allowed this grand scholar to live a life of contentment, happiness, and prosperity for 106 years. Imagine, this doesn't happen to everyone. It was his devotion to the Imam of the time, the kind of devotion that you could clearly and tangibly sense every time he spoke, every time he delivered a lecture, every time he gave a class. He would constantly remind us of the Imam of the time, of our service to him, and of the importance of devoting our lives in his service. May Allah bless his soul, and may Allah allow us to be inspired by the likes of Grand Ayatollah Lutfullah Safi Gulpaigani. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.